I may start with you. Trade can, of course, help to bring countries together. What is your take on this? How can we get there? How can we find common ground with trade as an instrument?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me, and for the institution, for Germany, to hosting this actually very timely dialogue. And the key theme is actually telling, and it possibly answers your question of really building on common grounds. First of all, I am not pessimistic. Hello, Your Excellency.
Minister Lindner, welcome.
Hello, very nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Pleasure. So building, I mean, the theme of this dialogue is actually timely, building on common grounds. I am not pessimistic, to be honest. I am always an optimist. And I think ultimately we will find our way. But we need just to recognize that there are basic root causes for this, which is, we heard it in the first session, and I would repeat it in brief, which is basically there is a loss of trust within nations, and nations who actually had, over the last 3-4 decades, developed and grew. A lot of them neglected part of their society. I mean, the fact is it was not really an equal growth within societies. That then called for these segments of society who did not really benefit from the growth to call for politicians to do something about it. You know, for example, bring back industries into countries, as we have seen in the US and other parts of the world. But also it caused significant distrust within countries. And as you know, this started basically very clearly during the pandemic, when there was a big scramble around basic health needs, vaccines, etc., where people saw very clearly that countries are closing on themselves and trying just to protect their own people, rather than possibly allowing the supply chain to help other nations at the same time. The last point, I think, which is clearly, is a lot of politics came in also. So the war between Russia and Ukraine, the Middle East war, and there are a lot of other really boiling situations around the world that has also caused that largely mistrust between nations. What does that do? People try to close on themselves, try to be independent, and as we have heard earlier in the morning, you get into the independence trap, which is actually causing inflation, largely causing significant inefficiencies in economies, and depriving particularly low-income countries from technologies, innovations, and support that they need as we are today.
Yeah. Trust is key, definitely, and especially for the private sector, of course. And your country is doing really well in the